What's up, Logan? So, what we got here is a triangle that we need to solve. We're solving triangle PAN. So, that means we need to find six things. The six things are this. We need to find angle P, we need to find angle A, and we need to find angle M. So, those are all my angles. Then, I need us to find side P, and I'm going to do that as lowercase p, side A, lowercase a, and side M, lowercase m. Now, side P is opposite to angle P. So side P is going to be right there. So I'm going to put side P right there. That's what I still need to find. Side M is opposite to angle M. So side M is going to be this guy right here. Hey, look at that. We already got an answer. Side M is 11. Beautiful. And finally, side A is going to be opposite to angle A. So side A is going to be the 8. All right. So now we know what side A, side M are. And we also know one more thing, angle M. Angle M comes out to 90 degrees. Okay. So the first thing you're going to want to do is that. After you establish that, just pick something you want to solve for. It doesn't matter. It can be P, A, or P. So it can be angle P, it can be side P, or it can be angle A. You get to make that decision, whatever you want. Now, like in class, what I did is I used Pythagorean theorem to find side P. So this is what I'll do, is I'll highlight it to show you what I'm talking about. I decided to find this piece first. Now, if I'm going to find that piece, I have to start with the two things I know. I know those two guys. This right here is 3 sides. This leads me to understand that we're going to be using Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem to find P. So for P, I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem. Now you don't have to write down that you're about to use Pythagorean theorem. This is just so you guys can understand what I'm about to use. So I'm going to go a squared, 8 squared, plus b squared, which is p in this scenario, p squared, is equal to the hypotenuse squared, which is 11. So 11 squared. And I simplify it. So I'm going to go 8 squared is 64. P squared, I don't know how to do, so I just rewrite it. 11 squared is 121. And then I solve it by subtracting the 64. And then after I subtract the 64, I simplify that. And this gives us P squared is equal to 57. Now we square root both sides. We square root the left side to get rid of the square and the square root, and we square root the right side. This gives us P is equal, and I'm going to go ahead and write it as the exact answer. So 57 is, 57 is divisible by 3. So let's see, 3 times 19. That's it. That is the answer. Both of those are prime numbers. They can't reduce any further. So our answer is just the square root of 57. If you want to use a calculator, we can bust open Desmos. We're like, hey, Desmos, look it up. And we type in square root of 57, which is 7.549, 7.5498. 7.5498. 7.5498. So you could write that out. Or you could just write square root of 57. Square root of 57, which is the same exact answer. Okay? So now that we've got that, we move on to the next piece. So the next thing is pick another side, or pick another piece you don't know. Well, I want to solve for P. So that means I want to talk about this guy. Now remember, you know this piece and this piece. So the two pieces that you have, let me change the colors. The two pieces you have is the pink angle, the yellow side, and the orange side. The yellow side is the yellow side is the hypotenuse, and the orange side is adjacent. So what we're going to use is cosine. So I'm going to solve using cosine. So we're going to say cosine of P is equal to 8 over 9. Now, since the variable is next to cosine, what I'm going to use is the trig inverse function. So I'm going to go cosine inverse of 8 over 9, and that will give me the measure of angle P. And now I'll definitely need to use Desmos. So I'm like, Desmos, what's the cosine inverse what's the cosine inverse of 8/9? So I type it in. Functions, cosine inverse of 8 divided by 9, and Desmos says 27.3. 27.3. So I write that down, 27.3. Now, this is where it gets kind of tricky. Or not tricky, it gets kind of nice. You can now find your last angle because you know the other two. And you know that those angles have to add up to 180. That's what the angles of a triangle always add up to. So now we can say the 27.3 plus the 90 plus angle A has to equal 180. After you do all the math on it, we find out that angle A comes out to 62.7 degrees. 62.7 degrees. And this is how you solve a triangle. You find the measure of all three angles and the measure of all three sides. If you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up on email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day.